So this is Rocco. This is my fiance, and I just wanted to talk on the podcast real quick about our proposal story and the ring story specifically. We've had a crazy couple weeks. We got engaged like 2 weeks
2 weeks
ago.
ago, give or
Yeah.
take.
So it still doesn't. It feels really fresh, and we were in New York and Rocco proposed to me in Central Park. Um, but I just wanted to give him some time to talk about the ring story because he told me this story in Central Park and I was so shocked because it's such a crazy story and it's literally insane and it's such a testimony and I feel like it would be crazy not to share because I've been sharing it with everybody I know already. So
It's super cool.
yeah. So Rocco, how did you find this is the ring by the way? It's a crazy ring. But Rocco, oh, I hope I
The
didn't
camera's
unfocus
sick.
it. Hopefully it's still focused on me.
It'll refocus, right?
No,
Really?
I don't know what it does. No idea. It's fine though.
Okay.
Um, but anyways, yeah, I'm a little sick, but it's fine. I'm almost through.
Okay, yeah. So it kind of started with me moving down here back in September. Over the summer, I kind of moved down here and just started staying with friends. Just like committing to the idea that I was going to move down here without having a job yet or like a roommate or a vision of like how it was going to
Yeah,
happen. But
that was cool
really wanted to be
too.
down here. And there was just lots of like little encouragements from God and little steps of like faith and obedience on our end for that. And she was already living here, but I moved down here, and then little by little, like God pieced that together to where I ended up getting a job so I could pay for rent and life, and
Yeah.
then got a roommate with literally my childhood best friend. Out of nowhere, just like worked out for him to move up here, and so it was super perfect.
God is working.
And then life was starting to get going, and like we're obviously talking about getting engaged because we had been planning for a long time. Like we're envisioning spending the rest of our lives together and all that. And so, with lots of like wise counsel and all the things, we're like, yeah, we want to get engaged. And so, we start looking at it, and but that's just like a very kind of side piece to our life. Like we're still just like living life, and that's kind of like side conversations. And I actually met with a guy from our church who like worked security with me, and he had a really crazy testimony
Really? Who?
on Sean. He had a crazy testimony about like the power of prayer and what it can do, like when you're praying out loud and you're praying super specific prayers,
Yeah.
and you're just asking God for something like you really need or want from like just sort of kind of like an honest place and how to pray that out loud. And so Cap and I I meet with him, hear about that, and then Cap and I decide to go on a prayer walk. Then that day, I think it was.
Which was crazy because in that prayer walk, I prayed for a pair of boots, and because my house burned down, so my boots burnt down with it. And I was praying, and I was like, God, please let me get a new pair of boots. That's the last thing I prayed.
It was the last thing
And
she
my
prayed. It was just like
mom
a why
texted
not?
me the next day, being like, Capper, here's some money for boots. Which is crazy. And so I went and got a pair of boots, but it was just, I feel like God was, obviously God always really listens, but that was a very powerful prayer walk. We were just very okay, let's just pray. Yeah. So we were praying. Yeah.
Yes, that was like super random, just like little random answered prayer for Capra. That was super
Yeah,
cool.
it was cool.
And I had like just moved down here, barely had any money, and like I work in real estate, so it's pretty inconsistent, and was pretty worried about the first like couple months and getting by.
Yeah.
And on that prayer walk, I like prayed for God to help me with my finances, for like deals to close or just things to work out in that way.
Wasn't that
And
crazy?
then
Yeah. Because the next day,
what's what I'm getting to,
yeah.
baby. And so then the next day, uh, this house that we had listed on the market, like an offer came in for it the next day, and it was insane. And then that deal ended up closing, which was crazy. It was a good offer and just like worked out super well. So that was nuts. And then 2 days after that, I got another offer on a second house that was listed, which was on the market for like literally like 6 months, 7 months, and it just like could not sell. And then 2 days later, boom, like offer, and that ended up closing. So that was just a crazy like God just like helping us out
Yeah.
because we needed it. Well, I needed mine. I needed mine for sure. And so like on October like 15th, we go on our prayer walk. October 16th, like I get my first offer. October 18th, I get a second offer, and then like by the end of the month, like the first house closes, and then kind of just into the next month of November, the second house closes. And then a few days after that, on November 8th, Kappa and I had been talking about getting engaged and wanting to save up for it. And I'd recently just made a little bit of money, literally a little bit,
He's rich.
and felt like a millionaire.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, let's go ring shopping and see how much like really got to start saving up for what we want and all that. And so we go ring shopping on November 8th, and Capra picks out a ring she thought was beautiful.
Yeah, I was
and
like, this is it. This is
it was
what's
the one.
happening.
She tried
It
on
was
a
the
bunch
first
of
ring
them.
I tried on.
Tried on a bunch of them, and then like at the end, she's like, I want this one. It was like literally the first one she'd put
Yeah.
on.
It was a very simple ring.
Very simple, very big. Literally
Yeah.
the biggest one there.
Yeah.
Just one huge stone. Is that all right? Well, I can start to like save up for that now. And then, so we're like at this point, we're super committed to the idea of just like doing our verbal, out loud prayers for things like we need. And definitely not all of them are just like material based, but for the purpose of the story, is like that was kind of what we're talking about. So yeah, like we were praying like super hard for like God to help provide for me a ring, like help work to go well, help me to get more work, job, sell things, all that stuff, and just to help provide. And then 2 days later, after that, I'm at a church like men's night, and I meet this guy with my roommate, and he's like super cool dude, and he's telling us like his crazy testimony about how he came to God, and he's talking about just like Jesus and all these things. And at the end, he like asked me and my roommate if either of us want prayer, and I was like, yeah, I'd love some prayer. I love for like prayer for vision of my life right now, like trying to figure things out. And he says, all right, yeah, I'll pray for you. And just had a crazy prophetic word for me,
I'm
which
back.
was
I have
super
a cold.
cool.
But I just went and coughed.
Capra's been coughing. She's super sick.
It's fine.
And so yeah, he has a crazy prophetic word for me.
Yeah.
And just like really speaks into my life. A bunch of like
About a lot of things, right? Yeah.
yeah, just like he like had just like met me that moment and just like spoken on a bunch of things from like childhood and just random things I'd been thinking about like the weeks before that, and just like it's like crazy specific. I was like, whoa. And in the middle of all that, he said I was gonna have a wife soon, and I was gonna be a husband and a father and all these things. So I was like, whoa, that's crazy, dude. Like I just went ring shopping 2 days ago. He's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then that happens, and then kind of the next couple weeks, it's like same old life, just like trying to figure things out, make money, all that, serve, just all the things. And Cap and I were praying like, okay, God, like help me provide, like I want to save up, all these things. And this was still like the first time I'd ever like had sort of like cash in my bank account.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to pay rent, pay off credit card, and save up for this ring. And I hadn't like tithed really from like the money I'd made from those like real estate deals. And like that was super weighing on me. I'm like trying to figure out, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like all these things. And just like trying to figure life out.
Yeah.
And then so like 2 weeks go by, and then on 11/23, November 23rd, our pastor gave like a really good
You're
sermon.
really on the dates, Rocco.
I wrote them all down this morning.
Okay.
Well, because it's just such a crazy timeline. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
was
wanna
like,
have it,
boom.
like, nailed
It's just
in.
like boom, 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 boom. Like God just made this stuff happen. November 23rd, like Chris just gives like a crazy message about like trusting God with your finances and like your needs, and he's like the ultimate provider. He takes care of everything. And that day, like just a bunch of people's needs got like met at the church. Like there was like 5 testimonies that I just heard from like the people around me of just like people helping each other out, and it was like the exact amount of money like they needed for something, or just like people just had the word. Like it was just crazy. Like people just helping each other out. And that day I had given basically everything I had saved up for the ring. I tithed because it was like I had made like $5,000 from like my real estate stuff, and then I donated like $500, and which is like how much I should tithe, and it was also everything I kind of saved up. Like by the time I did that and like paid rent, I had like no money left, and so I tithe, and that was great. I was like, all right, God, like, I'm giving it all to you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, that you're right. Like, everything, like, nothing's mine. Everything is yours. My
Yeah.
life is yours. My
Was that
money.
like a hard thing to do? Because I feel like it's like hard because you're saving for something, and you right. So it's like hard because you're like, am I supposed to save or am I supposed to tithe? Like, do you feel like you heard God's voice in that situation, or how do you think you knew like, okay, I'm gonna give it up? What was the like?
I just felt right. It felt more right because it was like a great sermon about like God owns everything. Like, we owe everything to Him. Like, it's all through Him. I hope I'm summarizing the message right. But it's kind of how I felt. And it was just like, yeah, like I should give Him like my first fruits. Like, give Him
Yeah, because
your
this was the
first. Give
first.
Him your best.
He
Give
like
Him your
obviously made
first.
this
Give
deal
Him your
go
best.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, like I'm gonna give it to you then. Did you feel like kind of like, because you know what I mean? Like, because at the same time though, you're saving up for a ring. Do you feel like God's like, did you feel like God was like, you should save up for a ring to marry Capra?
But not in that moment.
No, you felt like the priority was just giving money to God.
Well, I feel like obviously what I was wrestling with was from a, yeah, like from God. I'm like feeling this idea and this calling to propose to you and be engaged and married, get married as soon as I can. And it's like in that sense, yeah, it's like you have to take the steps towards saving up towards that. And so I felt that, but in that moment, I was like, no, like it's not what you're telling me to do right now.
Okay, that's cool. So he gave his money up.
And then it's crazy. And then so then that later that night, I get a text from the guy who had prayed for me like 2 weeks before that, and he like texts me and then like calls me. I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? And he's like, hey, like, are you still looking for a wedding ring? And I was like,
Wait, when was it?
that night.
That night. Wow, that's crazy.
That night, literally that night, he like texts me, calls me. He's like, hey, dude, like, are you still looking for like a wedding ring? I was like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, well, do you want one for free? And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean, do you want one for free? And him and his wife are on the phone, like, yeah, like, we have, like, if you want a free wedding ring, like, you can have one. It's beautiful.
Crazy.
I'm just like, what?
Where am I? Am I
I don't
around?
know, you just left.
I'm
Like,
not
they texted
there.
me while you were around, then I just waited till after you left to talk to them. And I don't know where you went. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And then, like, they tell me the story is, like, there's this other couple that these, like, all these moms, like, were trying to, guess, like, help, like, find a ring or, like, help, like, pull some
Yeah.
money together or something so they could get a ring. Because they were also young, broke, like, really wanting to get engaged and all that. And, like, it's, I don't even know, like, I didn't ask all the right questions because I was just like, yes. But this other mom, like, decided to also get, she was going to give them her, like, old ring or one of her rings that she has. And by the time she couldn't find it and had to find it and then get it, and by the time she got it, like, they had two rings. And then instead of just being like, oh, like, they got a ring, she, like, still wanted to, like, give her ring away. She, like, wanted to help someone or just do something with it. Like, she just, like, really felt called to give it. And so she talks to this guy who had prayed for me and is like, hey, like, do you know of anyone who's looking for a wedding ring, for an engagement ring? And he's like, yeah, I just met this guy 2 weeks ago who was looking for one. And he called me and that
Wow.
was it.
Crazy.
And that was insane
Crazy.
for how it, like, came to be. And then I picked it up 2 days later and then proposed a month later.
So how did you feel when you got the ring?
And then between, like, when I heard, like, had that phone call and then, like, when I actually proposed was, like, a crazy time of just turmoil and, like, overwhelmed
Angst.
and angst and, like, prayer and, like, trying to figure out, like, all the questions because I did not know how I felt about it. About just, like, receiving someone's ring, about just someone, like, giving it to me, I mean, it not being the one Catherine chose. It
Yeah.
looks so different from the one she chose. It kind of has the same shape, which I was like, huh, it's like the same shape. Like, that's, like, really, it's a really unique shape, like, being, like, it goes a long way on the finger like that. And that was something she had really liked. But it looked super different. It was, like, free. I didn't know whose it was. They don't know who I was. I had wanted to save up. I wanted to do it. I didn't know if it was too soon. Like I was just all this thing was all of
Yeah.
a sudden just like this huge idea. Like whoa, now I can actually propose. It's not just like oh I'll save up and do it when I can. It's like you can actually do it.
Are you gonna do
So
it?
many
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
That's crazy, Rocco. So funny too, because I went to dinner with Rocco and a friend, and we were talking about our feelings, or like, how was your week? And then Rocco was like, I'm so overwhelmed. I think it's funny.
Okay.
And Rocco was like, I'm so overwhelmed. And I was just like, it was just funny because I'm like, why is he so overwhelmed? But anyways, yeah. So then it was funny because then it's crazy because my mom then decided we wanted to go to New York for Christmas, and Rocco was already gonna go to New York for Christmas because he feels like he felt like God had put that in his heart, right?
Yeah. So then like those next weeks I was like super praying, just like God, like do you actually want me to propose? Like, is this whole thing because you really want me to propose right now? Like, I'd been hearing him say that, like, you
Yeah.
need to propose sooner rather than later. Like, you need to do it now. I'm like, do I have no money or no ring? Like, I want to do this all right. And so I'd already been feeling like he wants me to do it now. And so then I really prayed into it, like, do you want me to do it now? And I just kept hearing like yes and yes. And then I was like, I don't know how. Like, I have no idea where we're gonna be because Capra's family loves to travel for the holidays, but it was still 2 weeks before Christmas, and they like we
Didn't pick.
had no idea like what they were doing for
Super
Christmas.
chaotic.
It already lined up even before I got this ring. It was like before Thanksgiving, like 2 days before that. Another part of the story was like I was like super praying into like should I go home for Thanksgiving? Should I go with Capra's family? What should I do for Christmas? And God was like super clear, like go home for Thanksgiving. She'll go home for her family, and then you need to spend Christmas with her. So like I already had the plan to like spend Christmas with her from him, and then it was just like all right, like you're really kind of lining this up here. And then like a week before Christmas, I was leaving Capra's house, and I walk outside, and I like look up at the stars, and I'm like looking at the stars, and it's like just beautiful night, and I'm like, all right, God, like if you really want me to like propose like over Christmas break next week, like just show me a shooting star. Like I'm not gonna test you or anything, God, because like you're not supposed to test you, but it's like show me a shooting star if you really want me to do that. And I'm looking up the sky, and like 5, 10 seconds later, boom, just shooting star right across my face. I was like, no, what?
Wait, that's sad. You
That's
didn't want to
insane.
propose?
No, I did. I was like,
Oh.
I laughed. I was like, wow, all right, God, like, okay. You want me to? All right. But then like the gut punch was like,
What were your
ooh,
reservations with proposing?
nothing. It's just scary. It's just hard and scary. It's
Yeah.
like, ooh, this just
Yeah.
got real. Like, no, this just got real.
Yeah.
Like now I have to do it.
Yeah. But you wanted to, huh?
Obviously, I wanted to do
Did
it.
you?
Yes.
Alright.
The whole point is I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just scary. It's super scary to do that. To be like, I mean, we can go into that forever about how scary it is
Yeah,
to like
commitment,
to
yeah.
commit to that and to level up your entire life and be like your own adult and independent and all those things and provide for
He's
a family.
23.
So-
23. Wait, yeah.
I mean, yeah, in that sense, you know. And then yeah, 4 days before, maybe 5, like 10 days, I don't know. I forget how many days before we decide to actually go to New York, and then it was like I had
Yeah.
like a week or so to plan the proposal in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it was crazy because we're in New York and it is really sweet. And then we like went to lunch and then, I mean, it was just a crazy day because like we go to lunch and then we're at lunch and then Rocco's
Like her whole family, like we were all like doing different things. Like it was Christmas Eve morning, and everyone's like doing different things. Everyone has like their own like kind of New
I don't
York
know, and also
plans.
I know nothing about all of Rocco's internal life with God he's been having for the past 2 weeks. The fact that he got this ring, the fact that God sent him a shooting star, telling him to propose to me, like I didn't know anything about all this kind of stuff. And we, so we were in New York, and then Rocco's like, let's get dressed for like a fancy dinner, fancy lunch. Yeah,
Well, her and her sister are like, oh, like we want to go to Rockefeller and take super cute pictures.
yeah,
You did say that
Yeah.
first. And I was like, perfect. Like, let's just get like super decked out. Like, we're in New York, Christmas Eve. Like, we got to go all out. Like, let's go get lunch
yeah.
and do all the things. And so we were all, like, all dressed up, super nice. I was nicer than everyone else. I was wearing a suit, and everyone's like, whoa, what are you doing?
Like, I don't know, it's just me.
I was like, I'm in New York. I'm Italian. I'm in New York. It's Christmas. And so,
Yeah, and so then we go to lunch, and lunch was really sweet. And like around lunchtime, I kind of was like, maybe he's gonna do this because he's wearing a suit. you know? And like you were very like, let's get dressed up, and I feel like you're not always like that. And so we're at lunch, but I'm kind of just enjoying myself at lunch. And then after lunch, we were walking over. He's like, let's go to Central Park. So I'm following Rocco, and we're on our way to Central Park. And it's like beautiful outside, and I'm having so much fun, and it's pretty, and it's like, oh my gosh. And we're walking, and I think like I'm kind of like dawning on me the more that we're like walking, like I feel like this is probably gonna happen. Like I think he's gonna propose. And so then, anyways, my brother has to go to the bathroom. He's like looking for a bush to go to the bathroom in Central Park. And
Which is crazy because like
he
he
knew what,
knows exactly what's happening.
but somehow,
And then like as like I'm like getting ready to do it, he's like, there's this whole thing about needing to go to the bathroom, and like him and my car have to go find a
Yeah, and
bathroom.
it's
And
like
I kind of wanted them to be there, and then like I wasn't sure if I wanted them to like be there or just kind of be around. So it was just funny.
it was just funny. So, anyways, he goes to the bathroom, and not in a bush. I think he found a place. But anyways, so Rocco's like, they're gonna go to the bathroom. Let's just walk. And so we're walking. Now it's just me and him, and like we're walking, you know, up a trail, and you're just like start talking to me like, I love you, Capra. Like I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Random stuff, and I'm like, me too. And then we're walking, and I'm like, he's gonna do this. And I'm like, at that point, my heart's, you know, kind of racing. We're walking, and then we get up to this bridge, right? And there's all these people all around this one spot of flowers on like the bridge. And the bridge, of course, is beautiful. But there's like all these people out with like their cameras already.
Yeah.
Their cameras are out. They're waiting for somebody to get onto that bridge and get proposed to. And I literally was like, and then Rocco's like, still like, I love you, Capra. Like,
Yeah.
talking to me. I'm like, looking, so I look to the side, Rocco's telling me I love you. I looked forward, and it's like this bridge full with tourists with their cameras out. And I was like, oh no. Like, oh no. And he's
I
like,
didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was
personally,
that many people or that many cameras.
personally, it felt like so many cameras and a lot of people. And so I'm walking up, and then I was like, Rocco, don't do this. I was like, don't do this. And then you were like, what'd
I
you
was
say?
like, yeah, but it's happening.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So we walk up to the spot, and of course, like, yeah, we get up to the pedals. You know, he gave a little like speech. I don't remember it, because of the shock, I guess, of the moment. And then he gets down on his knees, and he pulls out this ring, which I've never seen anything like it, and I've also never seen it. And so, like, I literally felt like there was a glitch in the system. I couldn't figure out if it was a real life situation. I actually felt like I wanted to do the whole thing where it's like, pinch me, like, check my pulse. Like, I actually was looking down at him, and I was like, this is not a real life situation. I'm gonna wake up. And in a way, it was almost like it wasn't like this is like a perfect dreamy situation that's not a real situation. It was like, wait, what? And there's all these people taking photos of me, and I'm like, literally just feel, I guess, the most overwhelmed I felt maybe ever. And then I kiss you, and it's like, yay, let's do it. Like, let's get married. And they're all like, woo!
She said yes.
Yeah, I said yes.
She said yes.
I said yes. But I was just like, my heart was pounding, and then there's still people around, and I was like, wait, come with me. And I like walk Rocco off to like this side area, and there's like this bench. And we sit down on this bench, and I feel like we had the hardest real talk, right? Like, maybe ever. Because it was just like, I was like, Rocco, why did you do that in front of so many people? And he's, so pretty much apparently my brother.
And I was like, yeah, let me tell my side of the story.
Yeah.
All right, let me
Yeah,
clear
you
the
can
air
clear
here.
the air.
Like I haven't been to New York in like 10 years, 15 years, whatever. And I did like all my research. I was like, there's a beautiful spot right here in Central Park. Like,
Yeah.
way off the beaten path, kind of like tucked away in a corner. And I like dropped like a very specific like pin on it on Apple Maps, and like pulled pictures of it online, and like literally a picture of someone else's engagement like in that spot. And I sent it to her brother, who's like lives in New York, and there to like set the whole thing up with the photographer, and set up the flowers, all the things. And like I sent it to him like so clear, so specific, and then they just didn't do it. They just like didn't do it.
He felt like the lighting was better in
They
this spot.
like couldn't find it. / like decided that the lighting was better at the other spot.
He also told people to take photos because
And
it's
then,
like,
yeah, let me tell him. Like, it was insane. And then like he like moved it to that spot because it was like prettier, and like the photographer thought it'd be better. Which, I mean, maybe it was. It was an insanely beautiful spot.
yeah, it was beautiful,
Beautiful spot.
stunning.
And then there's a bunch more people around there. And then like her brother, as the people are walking by, like move away. There's a proposal, but like also stand by. Like you're gonna want to take pictures of this. Like, it's like you're gonna want to see this. This is gonna be awesome. And like had them kind of like wait around to take pictures. And that's why there was like this crowd of people just like waiting for it. And so and then as I'm walking up, I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Like, this is not according to plan at all. Thought there was gonna be like different spot. I can see it's happening. I know they're set up. Like, they told me they're already hiding, like getting ready to take the pictures. The photographer had like a Super 8 film video camera, so I knew like he's already set up to do this. I had like 3 seconds to like, and as we're walking up, I have this like split-second decision. Like, all right, am I gonna keep walking, go to my spot, and just like do this, or am I just gonna like pull the trigger like as I should? And I just did.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's amazing because then it's like, okay, we're in like the forest together, having like a real big heart to heart. And honestly, and then that's when Rocco tells me the story of this ring. And it's like this crazy thing where I'm just like, wow, this is insane. All of this is insane.
Yeah.
And then we leave the forest and we go meet up with my family who's like at a Christmas dinner because it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Did we mention that?
Yeah.
It was Christmas Eve. And so we come to a Christmas Eve dinner and there's champagne and everybody's so excited and it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I really feel like, honestly, I feel like God was teaching me a lot about like receiving a gift, which is kind of crazy because I feel like he was teaching you the same thing. Because it's like in you proposing, it was like you receiving a gift and like doing it, right? And I feel like I was so like set on like I had picked out a ring with Rocco. I was like, this is what I want. I also had picked out a feeling, I think, mainly more than anything, that I wanted to feel when I got proposed to. And like as much as I feel like there could have been less people, it's like I also like had my idea that I would feel super peaceful and like calm and like whatever, and I didn't. So I just automatically was like that was all wrong. And so I feel like, but then if you look around at the situation and I look at the photos after, it's like no, it was literally stunning. It was perfect. It was so beautiful. Like it was literally so beautiful and so amazing. So I feel like what God was really trying to teach me is like receiving a gift, because I feel like the thing is, it's like a gift isn't something that like you're not, I mean, it's fun to get a gift that you ask for, right? But it's like, it's just also like a gift to an extent is like something that you're given, right? And like, it's not always like exactly how you imagined it, but it's like even better, right? Because it's like, I don't know, whatever, like God's giving it, right? And so I feel like, I don't know, there was like a lot that I had to learn about that, just like of letting go control and like receiving something. But anyways, um, yeah, and so it was just amazing. And so I feel like both of us had like a lot.
And for me, it was just
Yeah.
like, just following Jesus. Like, literally just as simple as like, follow me. When I tell you to do something, like, do it. And just that super simple faith and obedience. Because throughout the whole thing, like, I couldn't see why it made sense to like do everything the way it went down. Like, I wanted to wait the whole time. Like, I wanted to wait longer. Um, I would love to wait, plan more, do all these things. But I just felt so clearly God saying like, okay, do this. And it was like one step at a time, do this, do this. I just kept doing it, and it was super hard.
Yeah.
And it was super hard. And then when we got to the point of like I proposed and it was beautiful and it was amazing, but then like we're sitting down and talking, Cap was like, what the heck? Like, these are such a shock.
Yeah.
And I like was like, God, like what the heck? Like, you told me to do this. I
Yeah.
thought this was like gonna be like the happiest she's ever been her entire life, which she was. But like
Yeah.
still, I was like,
I
when
was
she was
probably
like
the most
when she was
overwhelmed I've
questioning,
ever been in my entire
yeah.
life.
And I was like, well, that makes
Which led
sense.
to the
Overwhelmed
happiness.
with
Yeah.
overwhelmed with happiness.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I thought this was gonna be like the perfect everything. Like, you told me
And
to do all
yeah.
this, and then so it was really hard because then like even afterwards, it's like right now it's still just like they're telling me to do these things and I don't feel ready. But what I've learned the whole time is just like
Yeah.
follow me, do what I say, and that's all you
I'll
have to
take
do.
care of the rest.
And that's
And
all you
it's
have
crazy
to do.
because so like we went to get the ring resized, right? We're at the jewelry place, and of course,
Yeah,
like
someone gave it to me, so it was too big.
Too
Also,
big.
when I gave it to her.
and so we're getting it resized, and then they're like, "Wow, this is crazy! Like this ring is like super old. It's like handmade, like
The
whatever."
most beautiful ring we've ever
Ever
seen.
seen.
Like,
God
this
God
old
like
like
made them say these
It's
things.
this old like
But
European cut diamond.
European cut. It's definitely from before the 20s. It's handmade. That's why they're not perfectly circles. Like this is so fun as us jewelers to look at. Like this is gorgeous. And they're talking, and I think I realized. So what's crazy about the ring is it's like kind of has an infinity sign, which I have been given also a bunch of infinity sign bracelets, which I've never been in. I don't know why. I've never been into infinity, but two people have gotten me really nice infinity sign bracelets that I'm wearing right now. And then if you look at it, it's also kind of like a cross. And I wear my cross every single day. It's here somewhere.
Yeah, they get it.
Okay, whatever. It's like somewhere in here. And then, um, my brother, like when I was probably like 13 years old, made me, he's a jeweler, and he made me this heart ring that I wear every single day. And it also is kind of like little hearts. So I don't know. I feel like God like really showed me that. And he's like, I made you this, Capra.
It literally has like all three things that she wears.
Yeah, all three things that I like wear
It's
already.
insane. These like most beautiful diamonds I never could have afforded other like without God.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And it's like, I think
So
it's kind of
unique.
that
It's the
thing
most
where it's
like
like,
unique ring
yeah.
ever. Just like Capra, like literally the most like special person in the entire universe.
And I feel like it's that thing where it's like, I give better gifts than you know how to give yourself.
Ooh.
Let's see. Did it get the other videos? What's going on, baby? Okay. Can you clap?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like God being like, I give you better gifts than you know how to give yourself. And like, just let me like treat you. Like, let me like give you your gifts, you know? Like, let me like just take care of you. Like, let me take care of you. Because I like will far exceed your expectations. And so
Yeah.
that's our testimony of our proposal. And we're so excited to get married. And I guess like, yeah, I guess the advice is like, right from Rocco, it's literally like, just go after it and like do what God says, and God's going to take care of you.
Yeah. Like it,
Yeah.
it won't make sense. You'll feel overwhelmed. You might feel overwhelmed. You might not.
Yeah.
It's like it's just the true test of walking by faith and not by sight.
Yeah.
And just like simple obedience.
Yeah.
Was like what God's been teaching me, and He's way more faithful than we can imagine.
Yeah. And I feel like that was cool because you've been talking about that a lot. Like simple, like keeping it simple. Like God said to do this, I'll do it. That's it.
Yeah, it was super hard. Like that's the best. Yeah, you said you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for listening. And we're so excited.
Yeah.
Everything-
Yeah, we are. We really
We're
are.
excited.
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like.
But love you guys. Thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you.